Hello, and welcome back yet again to Let Supreme Ghost Thief. Today we are playing a thief's training, mission by Snake, his first and I think only mission so far. It's a Thief 1 mission, obviously, and this was voted on as the winner for the recent most ambiance competition. And pretty clearly so. It was like 5 or 6 votes ahead of any other mission. So yeah, clear winner there. Next time we are gonna finish up Penny Dreadful with mission 3, and then we are going back to the mission that won the poll that I had running during the last Godbreaker mission in the live chat there, and that's Catacombs of Knoss by Nicked. I think that's a 2-mission campaign. I will play the remastered version, but originally it was released for the Thief 1 anniversary contest. So yeah, let's get going with this this mission. This is a very good mission. It is quite easy, but it is very well made. It is an homage to Thief 1, to the training mission for Thief 1. And it's very well made in that regard. But it's a keeper mission, so it's kind of unique since there's no real keeper missions in the Dark Project. So keeper missions have a tendency of doing well, getting received well by the majority. Keeper missions are not my favorite types of missions. I recognize the quality in this one for sure. But I don't have any keeper mission in my top all-time levels. I know there aren't that many made, but I can think of, obviously, Kept Away from View from Black Parade, Ink and Dust, which is mission 3 of the Roxburgh series, was a keeper mission. I like both of those missions. Ink and Dust definitely more than the one in Black Parade, but yeah, they're few and far between. But it's nice to get the change up, so I'm looking forward to this. So we're going to take a look at a very nice briefing, by the way, to begin with.
Cuddy must be feeling generous, or guilty, as he threw me a bone in lieu of any actual work. It seems Sigurd and Radbod, 2 of the Downwinder's best, have recently gone rogue. Word on the street is they have a new employer. Unlikely a warden, but definitely someone with deep pockets. Cuddy tells me they were spotted last night checking into the Hoofed Liar, a dilapidated inn located in Chapelshade, a half-abandoned hamlet on the outskirts of the city. Normally, I would look down on poaching work from others, but the rent is due, and Cuddy has nothing else coming my way. It's still daylight, but I'll have to leave now to have any chance of cutting Sigurd and Radbod off before they leave that inn. If I'm lucky, they might still be sleeping, which will give me a chance to figure out where they're headed. On the bright side, at least whatever I find is mine. That is, if there's anything to find, and if I can get away with it.
Awesome. Okay, so we have to discover where Sigurd and Radbod. So Sigurd, that's an interesting name to use because my nephew's name is Sigurd. And my grandfather, he's named after my grandfather who passed away a decade ago with the same name. So that's a very common Norse and therefore Norwegian name. We pronounce it slightly differently from the intro video, but anyway. And Radbod, which is not a Norwegian name, are heading to discover where Sigurd and Radbod are heading to. They stayed at the Hoofed Lyre Inn last night and should be leaving this morning if you've not already missed them. Chapelshade is a half-abandoned district, but there's likely still a valuable or two lying around, not to mention the Hammer Church still in operation. Steal at least 1,400 worth of valuables. Sigurd and Radbod are bloodthirsty amateurs. Don't put yourself in their category. Don't kill anyone. Leave the area when you are done. So yeah, we should be able to Supreme Ghost this mission. There is only one area that I'm a little bit unsure of, and like your opinion, I think we should be good for Supreme. It doesn't yield any kind of bust or alert or anything like that. I'm just a little bit puzzled by it. I don't really know how to evaluate it. We have to skip one piece of loot though for Supreme, so we can't get a perfect Supreme, but that's a pretty easy skip for us. Nothing we can do about it. Now, as soon as we start here, I'm going to shoot a rope arrow, because there is a neutral guard that will come in the distance, and if he sees us shoot that rope, he will become hostile, and I don't want that, so I'm going to move pretty fast here. Here we go. Take this here, and then that's where the guard is. We shouldn't get spotted now. He will greet us with a hello, I think. So we took a goblet up there, and then we are going to head up here too. Just want to make sure that he...
How's it going?
Yeah, he is not hostile now. If he has his back turned, then he won't see that. So you can see it's a daytime mission, which is kind of nice. We're going to head in here, and we're going to grab the dice here. There's also a moss arrow hanging up here, and then there's a will. The Testament of Bertolf of Chapelshade. Chapelshade. In the name of the builder, I, Bertolf, citizen and merchant of Chapelshade, being whole of mind and of body, the second day of Mirthtide, the year of our builder 831, and the year of the reign of Baron Bresling, make and ordain this my present testament and last will as touching my tenements lying in the said ward of Chapelshade in this wise. First, I bequeath my soul to the Almighty Builder, my Creator, and my body to be buried in the chapel of Saint Tetbert and Saint Rainfroy in the ward of Chapelshade, directly afore the window of Saint Tetbert in the sacristy. Second, I gave and bequeathed to the high altar in the same chapel for tithes forgotten, and discharging of my conscience. Third, I bequeath to Klatremus all my lands and tenements lying in the ward of Chapelshade. Lastly, I request to be placed into the earth with mine lucky dice, which served me well in life and may serve me in death. Praise be to the builder and his works. So that was the dice that we took. So we're gonna put that in his grave for some little extra loot there. So yeah, now we got those two windows done. Alright, so there's no map as of yet. There will be. You can see we're empty. So this is an opening plaza. Wait. Thought he said something, but he shouldn't. Alright, this is Elfwine, Elderman of Chapelshade, 604 to 668. There are, I believe, 3 coins in here. Yep, and a water arrow. We don't need that. It's an open window. You can see a window here as well. This is the Hoofed Lyre from 741. So it's almost a decade. No, almost a century in the production. And this is the chapel down here. secret room. We're going to pick the lock on this door. Alright, seemingly nothing, but there is something. It is a secret. Now this is a Thief 1 mission. How are there secrets? This is a blasphemy. Oh. Well, there are secrets. Quite a few of them, too. So that opens a room here. 2 more goblets and a bottle of wine. Midnight has come and the great hammer church bell, and many a lesser bell sound through the room. And it is all spirits' night, and 2 long glasses brimmed with bidly bong bubble upon the table. A ghost may come, for it is a ghost's right. His element is so fine, being sharpened by his death, to drink from the wine breath, while our gross palates drink from the whole wine. Such thought have I, that it hold it tight, till meditation master all its parts. Nothing can stay my glance, until that glance run in the cities, despite, to where the damned have howled away their hearts, and where the blessed dance. Such thought, that in it bound I need no other thing. Wound in minds wandering, as mummies in the mummy cloth are wound. WBY. Okay. So you see that there is stuff on the outside here, but we can't really see anything. Okay. Gonna head up here and grab another piece of loot. Diamond. Worth 50, total 140. Now you can't close. So do that. Can't relock this. There we go. This door's locked and we can't pick it. This is the public workstation. Alright, let's head into the Hoofed Liar. Cheese on the table. And the Hoofed Liar, today's menu. Special salted conger. Conger? With free Burrick breath ale. Deer leg stewed in ale. Bread stewed in ale. What? Cheese stewed in ale. Next week, traveling minstrels. Los Cabrones. Lost and found, lost ring. Last seen in the vicinity of the outhouse. Okay, well, we definitely have to visit the outhouse then. Thinking this.
How's your day?
Oh. Going very well, thank you. Alright, let's read this. The City Chronicle. Crimson Wane, 831. Holy excrement! Latrine disaster at St. Anvelites. A tragedy unfolded at St. Anvelites Seminary yesterday during the diet called by the Baron to mediate between Cardinal Earconwald and Margrave Framinger, who have been embroiled in a bitter dispute since last recidivus. The Baron took the opportunity to call the diet while mobilizing troops near the seminary before crossing to Blackbrook. The Margrave has used recent skirmishes on the land surrounding the seminary as grounds for erecting his newest fortified castle there, a move the Cardinal argues is in breach of the Baron's grant of lands towards the benefit of the Order of the Hammer. Those in attendance at the diet included representatives of many of the great families of the city, and all were gathered on the second floor of the main hall of the seminary to begin the mediations. In a tragic turn of events, the beams of the floor gave way, and the entire retinue plummeted to the latrines below, where as many as 50 people perished, most through drowning in excrement or suffocating from the fumes. Among the dead are Gerbold Bumbleson II, Count Waltheof, and Nardwin Grandmodden, nephew of Leopold. More on page 5. That is an awful way to die. Death by beard in dark smoke. Last Morn's-day, fire broke out in dark smoke, but was quickly extinguished thanks to the rapid action of the Baron's fire office. Only one fatality was recorded. In the initial panic at the outbreak of fire, Burgomaster Focard tripped over his own beard trying to escape his store and fell down the stairs, breaking his neck. Focard was famed for his prodigious facial hair, which is normally rolled up and kept in a pouch on his belt. When the fire broke out, he had not yet secured it, causing the hazard leading to his death. More on page 19. Rumpelball is postponed as a mark of respect for the great men who perished in the St. Anvilite latrine disaster. The Baron has promised to reopen the bear pits instead, with entry fees used to support supplies in the war. Alrighty. Let's head down here. Wine cellar. And here is a bottle of wine, and then there is another very well hidden bottle of wine back here. Total 210. This door here is pickable and also responds to a key, but we don't need to go out that way. Here is a mysterious little room behind the wall that has some bricks missing. Eerie sounds too. Gotta love that. Let's see. These two doors here are both pickable, but they do respond to a key as well, so I'm rather going to use the key. Here is the outhouse. Up here is a moss arrow. And then here's the ring that was talked about. Total 310. Let's head up here to some upstairs dining area. Here's a gem. Some kind of gemstone. Worth 15, total 225. That's the open window we saw from the outside earlier. So this is the innkeeper's right here. I don't know if he hears the doors. I'm not going to close when he's up here. There's a goblet at least. And here's a key. The inn key. We're going to need that. And let's read this. 6th day of Crimson Wane. Wine, Gascon, 8 barrels. Rhenish, 4 barrels. 820 to 824 reserve, 1 barrel. Bolisard is gouging again. Ale, Farah Brew, X, 6 barrels. Shoals get strong, 2 barrels. Consider switching out. Suspect poor old Bertolf succumbed. Burke Breath Brew, 16 barrels. This stuff isn't selling for some reason. Look to offload with Webster. Maybe because it has Burke in the name. People are tired of that. Food. Cheese 2 crates, bread 3 crates, deer 23 legs. We'll need to find a new supplier of deer. Salted conger. What is conger or conger? Is that something I'm not familiar with? 2 barrels. Rooms. Keep rooms free for special guests. Ensure deposit is secured safely. And tell Theofred to keep his eyes and mouth shut. Trusting donation to brother Gurumkatel might keep the hammer raids away for this month. Alright. I started to pick that before he stopped, just to prove to you that he does not alert.
Should have known. Nothing could get in here.
Oh my goodness, what?
Should have known. Nothing could get in here. What was that?
How did he alert there? That is strange. Okay. I wonder what he alerted to. Did he see me? Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to restart and redo this and come up again. Just a second. Alright, so now I'm back here. I've done exactly what I needed to. Let's actually make a save here. I did it pretty quickly.
What was that? Maybe I should send some muscle after the stone group. I think the taxes will get covered from the fund. Need to get Joff's leg broken. Can't divide me like that.
See if I can actually stay here when he comes.
Maybe I should send some muscle after the stone group. I think the taxes will get covered from the fund. Need to get... Ah!
So I can't do that. Okay. Can probably stay here.
What was that? Guards!
He sees me down here. So he doesn't see me here. I thought I stayed last time along the wall, so...
What was that?
So he hears him when he is...
What was that?
Yeah, he actually does.
Odd noise there.
So it's only when he's at the very, very top that he doesn't hear it.
Maybe I should send some muscle after the stone group. I think the taxes will get covered from the fund. Need to get Joff's leg broken. Can't defy me like that. Odd noise.
So, okay, so that means that he does not alert to the lockpicks. He's way up there, because then he wouldn't have alerted again. So I think he sees that, actually. He will see me there, so I'm gonna have to wait another round. Let's see, there's a secret as well in this bedroom. So we took now a necklace worth 100. We should have for 30 45, yeah. Let's actually make another real save here. This room was harder than I thought. Trusty and well-beloved Goslin, we greet you well. We understand by report made unto us at this time that ye have taken upon you now of late to make misadventure within our forests, and put in contempt of us uncourteously to hunt and slay our deer for your wilting tavern. I think you will find yourself most accepting of our remedy for this misadventure. 1 moon hence you shall provide lodgings for 2 men and inquire not. Payment will be provided in advance. Ignore this entreaty at your peril. To your trusty and well-beloved Goslin. So here we can definitely stay. So we took a gold nugget, a silver nugget, and a purse there. 685 total. There.
Maybe I should send some muscle.
We have to return the inn key.
Think the taxes will get covered from the fund.
Or we can return it
Need to
to
get Joff's leg broken. Can't find me like that.
the top of the book. If we do that, it's still on the desk, so we're fine there. Okay. Little hiccup there early, but hey, a little extra challenge is not a problem in this mission. Let's see. So now we have the inn key. We can head in here. Let's see. Here we have. Thought there was some loot in here. Maybe not. I think there's a rope arrow in this one. So then we don't need anything in here. Okay. So here is a key. This is a public works key. We do not need that key, actually. We're gonna read this. Radbod, you taffer, open the door. I told you to take it easy last night, but as always, my advice has gone unheeded. If you don't get up in 5 minutes, I'm leaving myself. I've left a copy of the public works key with you. I keeps what I find, so couldn't care less whether you show up or not. You can explain it to the lady yourself. Okay. So he's obviously been drinking here. Here's a stack of copper coins. I think in this there's a flash bomb. Yep. Total 690. So all we really need there is the coins. There. If you put it into the box, he hears it. Started with a flash bomb. Okay, then we can head out. The inn key also opens the door in the basement out to the streets. Let's see if I can show you something here. Head up here. On top of the chapel, there is a gas arrow, and may the builder's grace guide you back to earth. A notice. So That counts as a secret. We're not going to do that because that's unnecessary, but it is what it is. The Chapel of St. Tetbert and St. Rainfroy, martyrs in the builder's battle against the trickster's abominations. So there is the deliveries only. That's the basement entrance. That's the open window up to the innkeepers, right there. Otfrid blacksmith. Nice sounds there. Bogwolf, the Great Seer. Here lieth Bertol, faithful servant to the builder. 773 to 80, or 831. So here we can place the dice, and we can get a purse, 790. Let's see, now we can get into the astrologers. This way. I like this room a lot. 2 coins in the skull here. Total 810. Graves here. Nope. Okay, so this is the back entrance. You can go in either way. Everybody in here are neutral, as far as I know. We can go into the front foyer. Rope arrow to get a candlestick up there. Okay, so I didn't know that that happened. Let's see. Okay, so how do we get down here? I think we do that. Do a half mantle. Okay, in here you can just go up and get the hammers without any problems.
The fruit falling from a tree.
And then we can read the sermon for 6th day of Crimson Wane. When we first took up the hammer for the builder's plan, who was then the nobleman? Do not measure the worth of thy life by the weight of gold in your pocket, but by the burden of works carried upon your back in building a good house for thy soul. Bricks and mortar, not silver and gold, will pave the path to the builder's house. Those who adorn themselves with gaud and finery do mock the builder who maketh their forms. And wilt they regret their choice when the end comes? Blessed be these words in the name of the builder.
Ashes itself on a rock below. The builder's truth it is that men without belief.
So this is a room that is restricted for us. They don't really care about us going in there. Here's Hammerite Compendium of Precepts, Regimens, and Rules of Conduct, Volume 21. When the builder came to inspect the houses of his children, he came upon the first house with all the signs of vanity upon its front gable, whilst the second house was humble in aspect. The builder then asked his children on what they spent more time building, the internal structure or the external features. Then didst the errant first son answer, I didst allocate my time equally upon both aspects. While his second son answered, Verily, I spent more time on ensuring the internal structure was sound. Then didst the builder command his errant son to enter his own house, where it fell down upon him in a great tumult. For is it not known that outward appearances reveal naught of one's own righteousness? Build thou a fortress of thy heart first, for only the righteous soul can be a strong foundation. Brother Morcant, greetings to thee. I would be most grateful if thou extendeth my greetings to all mine brethren downtown. I write thee of news from Chapelshade. This hamlet of heathens doth continue to weigh on mine ministry. These wretches are unmindful of their own salvation, and have abandoned themselves to the trickster. From my very office I doth hear all kinds of incantations and other accursed pagan abominations. At the instigation of the enemy of the builder, they do not hesitate to engage in the most foul and odious exuberance of sin, to the pernicious peril of their own souls. These detestable atrocities remain unpunished, not without open danger to the wretched souls. I will continue to provide names of the worst offenders to Brother Inquisitor, and see to it that these unrighteous knaves are removed from here with expediency to face the builder's justice. Regarding the Chapelshade Goslin, he remains still useful for our purposes, and should be exempted from justice for now. May the hammer fall on the unrighteous. Brother Grimketel. Okay, then there's a safe that is not pickable, but there's a key here. And in here is a bottle of wine, gold goblet, and a purse. And then also a readable. Brother Grimketel, I trust this month's tithe has been received with the builder's favor. Forever at your service, Goslin. Lock this. Drop the key back.
The builder's truth it is that men without belief do soften and fail as rotten wood. 'Tis true.
1100.
And
that's
till
correct.
then, misfortunes are mirror for our
Then we
blessings.
are going to head out the back entrance. No. That's not the back. This is the back.
Nay, our walls be cut from the thickest stones.
And then we can go this way. There. And shoot a rope up here. And we can... Whoa. We should shoot a little bit further away, shouldn't we? So we can climb all the way up. Get a diamond in there. And then we can grab the rope, and then we need to... Let's see. We should be able to drop here, shouldn't we? Okay, well this I did. Okay. Okay, maybe I did it there actually. Alright. How do I do this? I don't think we can... If we do that... great. If we do that and then drop onto the middle part... Yeah, there we go. I just needed to say it and then it worked. We can head all the way down. And now we come to the crypts below. Here lies Saint Tetbert. May he continue to slay the unrighteous in the hereafter. So there's nothing in here except for a secret that we can find in here. Elf wine, Elderman of Chapelshade, 604 to 688. Let my cup with sweet wine overflow under the warm sun's glow. Let my draped robes glisten and shine, and flowers from the rose garden round my temples twine. Tombs of the barons, your sad honor's city. Live, little men, for even the gods can die. Okay. So here there's going to be a piece of loot that we have to skip for Supreme. Notice all the lights in the middle of the casket or sarcophagus there. If we lean in here, those lights go out and a haunt spawns with light around it. So removal of light sources is not allowed. I know that we can go through this room without ever going into that light, but that is not allowed. Especially not in a room with an enemy. That would never be allowed. So that tiara there, we have to skip. Worth 125. But that should be the only skip we need to make. Oh. I'll close it up. So that is unfortunate. But you can get out of there. You can just sneak along the wall and get out for Ghost if you want that. Here lies Father Valeran, a scholar but not yet a saint. Okay, moving down here. Nothing really to worry about in here. Here lies Brother Odoric, sharp of tongue, blunt of wit. Here's a tapestry, total 1210, or a rug. And the holy symbol of Saint Tetbert and the rosary of Saint Rainfroy. Can't take those. Here lies Brother Ursus, vigilant in his watch. May it be so in the hereafter. These are workable fonts. No. Can move up this way. Here lies Saint Rainfroy. May his hammer forever swing against the unrighteous. Back here, I think there is a gold goblet. Yes. Total 1225. Okay, so now we can jump in here. Go this way. So if we go this direction, then we come up to a public workstation. Here's a water arrow and an engine room. And this is the door to the opening plaza that the public works key would function on. So we don't need that. Instead we want to go this way. And we want to take a stack of silver coins there. And a readable as well. Rupin. I had a strange interaction in the Hoofed Lyre the other night. Goslin seemed keen to introduce me to some woman he was speaking with, and offered me some free ale, which I may have overindulged in. My memory is hazy, but she seemed mighty interested in the public works, and knew I was employed there. She asked a lot of questions about the history of the sewers and reservoirs, and if I knew of any tunnels or passages. I wasn't able to tell her much other than the collapsed area of the catacombs, but that I heard rumors of possible mine shafts in the reservoir section. She kind of gave me the creeps, and I think you should be extra vigilant on your shift. I will be going to the chapel in the morning, and should be able to relieve you after services, Kenrick. Okay, here's a loaf of bread as well. Alright, that should be it. Here. Close this. So in the sewers, there's nothing really to worry about. There's 2 exits here. I think this is a pickable footlocker with a healing potion. And here, I believe there is a moss arrow. Yeah, I assume this is supposed to be a sewer pour out. If you go this way, you come back to where you would have gone if taken this, and here is someone dead. This Radbod? Doesn't look like it. Some kind of serial worker. Maybe that Radbod killed on the way. Over here. Okay.
I wonder if the keepers have seen this.
Alright, so there he is, it seems like. So here's a readable that we have to take. Right, trusty, and right beloved, well-beloved Sigurd and Radbod, we greet you well. We hereby give our directions and a map unto you for the preparing of the most important task at hand. With as much convenient speed as you make, acquire lodgings in the hoofed lyre of Chapelshade, and ask you there for Goslin, a most dutiful subject, with whom I have made it known on your behalf. Make entry through the public works. There be an opening in the southwest corner of the main reservoir, which will provide passage to the compound. The key enclosed herein will provide entry. Your contract requires possession be taken of 2 items of most import. 1, a medallion with a keyhole contained in a crypt beneath the compound, and 2, a golden tome likely contained within a secured library. Your contract provides allowance to withhold any trinkets you find. Be wary of the foreign forces within, who will not hesitate to take your life by cunning and deception. They wield dark arts and sorcery. It would be wise to not stir their awakening. We expect to find our directions so well performed, and look forward to receiving great contentment thereby. Given under our signet at our palace of the Chemele, the 14th Dae of Vindemia, 830. So day of Vindemia, 831.
Better check my map.
Note found on a thief. So we don't need this note anymore. We're going to drop it. You can't really have it sync. We also got a key here, compound entrance key, that we're going to need. We need to return it, but we are going to need it. Now we got lots of good objectives. Looks like Sigurd and Radbod were sent here to steal from your old pals, the Keepers. Try and find more information on how they learned of the Keeper compound. This could be useful for the future. Those amateurs were sent here to steal a golden book. Sounds valuable. Make it yours instead. Recover the Keeper medallion mentioned in the contract. It may be worth something to someone. Steal 1400 loot, and then the other objectives. Alright. So, yeah. Now, we are back in a Keeper's training mission. This is where we would have come out from the first section of the training. So there's nothing else here but just continue the obstacle course that when we learned how to mantle. Remember that when the first time you ever mantled? So this is where we need the compound entrance key. There we go. Here is the green base that you might remember is the only piece of loot in the training mission. 1278. And here we enter then the Keeper compound. Oops. Let's make a real save there. And let's look at our map. So, we started out here, so we just now entered this little room, which is the first new room of the Keeper compound. There are 2 floors here. We're going to enter the sleeping quarters, go through the dormitory. We're going to cover the courtyards. There's a cloister here, and we're going to go through the kitchen and dining hall pretty quickly. From the main hall, we're going to actually head upstairs. So we're going to cover this eastern section first. We're going to leave through the main entrance, but we need the compound entrance key to open the doors there, but we also need to return that key. So we're going to have to lockblock the doors and then return the key later on. That's one of the last things we do. We also have a chapter house that we need a key for. So that's why I'm heading upstairs before I hit this western part of the first floor. It's also a council tower that really only is a vertical shaft with sort of a meeting area in the bottom. And there are some common areas on the left and a smaller library. There's quite a few ways up and down. I believe this is a staircase. This is a staircase here. This is one. This is one. You can also climb up and down through some rope areas in this room. And the courtyard, you can also climb up outside. On the second floor, we have a restricted library where we're going to find 2 of our objectives, I believe. And this is where the stairs go up. We have a scriptorium, sort of a study hall area. And we have the main hall. This is a balcony, but you cannot go over that, I think, into the front courtyard. There's some staircases here, as you can see, and some smaller chambers. Astronomy section, and then there's the Elder's office, where we are going to need to get the chapter house key, I believe it is. So that's the order of things. In here there is a water arrow. Okay. So in here, there's a healing potion and a journal. The nightly noises, disturbances, and outright ruckus continue to emanate unabated from Keeper Ludegard's chambers next door, despite my repeated entreaties on the matter reported directly to him. When I raised this in the chapter house last week, I noted a distinctive expression of amusement from Keeper Ramiro and Bryce. Are they party to this conspiracy to interfere with my slumber? I feel I have no choice now but to report the matter to Elder Dalberic. I can also return the chapter house key to his office while I'm there. It's a nice early hint to the location of that key. Let's see. Let's go in here. Here's another journal. I had the disturbing dream of the 3 pillars again last night. The first pillar was shrouded in vines, darkness, and chaos, and when it collapsed, the structure remaining standing. The second pillar was made of metal, and when it rusted and collapsed, the structure held strong. But when the third pillar, covered in unrecognizable glyphs, shattered to pieces, the entire structure came down and all was black. I awoke as always at this point. So I assume that this is a dream, a prophetic vision of the 3 main games, right? The Trickster, the Mechanists, and then the glyphs, and I haven't played through all of the 3 yet. Still on the 3rd mission, so but I assume this is the first, the only 3 games. Let's put it that way. I don't want to mention the 4th game even. The other game who claims to be a part of the franchise. Okay, in here. First there is a secret. 2 coin stacks. I think that's it in here. I like that you can close all the secrets, by the way. And another readable. Keeper Ludegard. I implore you to halt whatever activity produces such noise at all hours of the night from your chambers. It is affecting my sleep and my abilities to perform my duties during the day. If this note is not heeded, I will have no other choice but to report the matter to Edgar Dalberic, Keeper Nivard. Okay. And here there is a blackjack. That's it. So this is the hallway that goes down here. I'm not going to take that now. We're going to head into the dormitory. Okay, there is an enemy upstairs here. There's a flash bomb in one of these footlockers. That was the one with the flash bomb, wasn't it? Okay.
Hey.
So he saw that. He comes down too.
These old books look so weird.
This is pickable.
Like they're made of human flesh.
Stack of copper coins. And then back here, there's another stack of copper coins. Well hidden one there.
The glyph warden was upset.
There's a loaf of bread on the table. Total 1334.
Keepers keeping things from keepers. What a drollery.
Now that I'm sure he saw. So we're just going to head upstairs to take a look. There's nothing really much here.
Was surely an acolyte.
So readable? Cattle, or Cadell. The worst part of the training compound is the lack of dormitory space. I'm still sharing quarters with initiates, despite being made an acolyte some time ago. Normally I would not be too precious about such trifles, but it means I slept next to Keeper Benagar, the sparring partner. He snores like a Burke, and often returns here after sparring, bellowing in pain. The sooner I move to acolyte quarters, the better. Asquin.
Nervous after meeting an elder. Like me. Hey.
Okay, I don't think any of these other ones
Still nervous from the glyph experiment.
have anything.
Starting to see things.
There is a moss arrow up here. You can see outside to the courtyard from here. All these other ones are empty.
Keepers keeping things from keepers. What a drollery.
So I like that the keepers are partly transparent here. Wasn't that the case in Black Parade 2? I believe so. Alright, so we are now facing south, so we headed into the courtyard. Just see here. Be a little bit careful here.
Hey, I can see that.
Yeah, because they can see through the windows.
I'm still nervous from the glyph experiment. Starting to see things.
Here we can see down to another crypt. Here's a gold goblet. Hide in here and wait for alerts. There's lots of windows, lots of people that can see you through windows. So we took a gold goblet there, 1349. Here is a keeper. He comes out, stations himself every now and then. I don't think anyone actually comes in and patrols through the courtyard. This is the eastern section of it. There's a statue that's fallen down here. And there's a piece of loot that used to be on the statue.
I'm still nervous from the glyph experiment.
Do you Tiara.
Starting to see things. The glyph warden was upset today.
So there.
Glyph warden was upset today.
Oh.
Spilling ink on such an ancient text. Simply unforgivable. This hall should be silent.
The glyph warden was upset today.
Spilling ink on such an ancient text. Simply unforgivable.
He stopped to open the door, but it was already open. That's not an alert, but I don't know if I'm safe here.
What do they think they're accomplishing?
But we took a tiara worth 125, total 1474. We might be safe here, I'm not sure. I don't want to close the door when he is out there, in case he hears it. In here.
Who's that?
Strange sounds here from this.
Whose incredible idea was it to build a bookcase so tall?
So now we are in the interior cloister. We're not going to go upstairs, but there is a staircase here.
Who thought it was a good idea to merge the Carathdon antiquity section with the modern organic one? I mean, huh?
Oh,
Who's over there? The glyph warden was upset today.
yeah, that was upstairs.
Idiot. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay, now we're heading into the kitchen. These are the latrines here. Not really much of interest. There's a book, I think, in one of them. The Bafford Chronicles. Of course, you want to read that in the bathroom. Any book in here? No. Here's a healing potion. Gold plate, 2 deer legs.
No doubt its contents are woefully outdated.
Okay.
Sometimes I swear they keep recording so we don't fall asleep.
Okay. 3 gold plates and 2 goblets were there.
That's the problem. You keep expecting people to be as smart as you are, then they let you down.
3 goblets, 2 regular and 1 gold.
What kind of an idiot? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I wish I was a dark watch.
The unwritten times are coming.
Wait for him to go. There's a bottle of wine back here too. 1619.
I'm a lack.
Gonna have to wait for him to. So we're now in the dining hall. This guard here goes a circle, stops in the dining hall, and stops just in the main hall. We're gonna have to head into the main hall.
That glyph was right.
So let's wait for him.
They don't understand. They don't understand.
Let's make it real safe.
The unwritten times are coming.
Here is an enemy.
Woefully outdated.
There's a blue vase. Here's a guy with a purse. Let's get this purse.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes, I'm sure that's a good idea. I'll have to talk to them.
Another blue vase there.
Ah, I'm a lackward. Of course that cliff was right.
Here's the front doors.
What the? That book doesn't belong here.
I'll have to talk to them about this.
There we go. Took 2 blue vases and a person here. We should have 1734. We can now safely return the compound key. We're not going to
I'm sure that.
do that right now, but
I'll have to talk to them about this.
other guard is on the other side there too. This takes us to the west. We're not going to go there now. We're going to head up the stairs to the 2nd floor.
This place is too dark and cold. That's the problem. You keep expecting people to be as smart as you are, then they let you down. What kind of an idiot?
Go in here. Takes you out to the courtyard again.
No, they don't understand.
This you could take to head north here. Then you come up next to the council tower. We're not going to do that.
That book again. Ah, can't find anything here.
Spilling ink on such an
Okay,
ancient
so
text.
we're going to have to go through that window.
Simply
There's the
unforgivable.
elder's office right there. But we have to
Where
wait
is
for that
book again.
keeper to go away.
Can't find anything
Stock of
here.
scribes. Spilling ink on such an ancient text. Simply unforgivable.
Gordon was upset today.
I take you to the sea. I take you to the sea.
You can land on the... There. This is the council chamber.
Simply unforgivable.
Gonna head up here. And we're gonna...
Don't understand. Who's this? In the shadows.
Yeah, so now he came back there.
That book doesn't belong here.
Wait for him to go away then. There's a secret in here behind the western statue.
Understand. The unwritten times are coming. Sometimes I swear they keep it cold in here so we don't fall asleep. They don't understand. No, they don't understand.
There's a torque. Total 1884.
Sometimes I swear they keep it cold in here so we don't fall asleep.
There. Pretty nice drop there. We can stand and take this guy's purse. This was the guy that we just observed, 1909. Okay, let's make a real save here. Because we have to head into the Elder's office. It's on the 2nd floor. We're now stationed right here. The Elder in there has 2 positions. One up a little staircase by his desk, and then one down here. When he's down here, he definitely hears the door being picked open. When he's at the top here, he doesn't. At least I'm fairly certain he doesn't, because several times I've had him alert as I've picked the lock when he's headed down the stairs. And he wouldn't have alerted then if he already alerted from being stationed. So the problem is that we can't really monitor where he is at any given point. We have to listen a little bit and try to gauge if he is close or far. When he's far, we have to pick the lock, and we probably have to do this in like 3 rounds. We also have to dodge this guy. Trying to listen now where he is.
I wonder what the interpreter meant by this. What the? That book doesn't belong here.
So now he was stationed far away.
I cannot believe the incompetence.
Can't find anything in here. What the interpreter meant by this. What the? That book doesn't belong here.
So we have to probably now wait for him to cycle through. I'm guessing.
The incompetence on display amongst this current stock of scribes. Spilling ink on such an ancient
So I stopped
text.
picking as soon as I heard him starting to walk,
Simply
because he walks a little bit away and then
No,
turns around
I
and
don't
comes.
understand. The unwritten times are coming.
This guy slightly turns around.
Someone skulking around here.
Okay, yeah, he doesn't stand there very long,
That Cliff was right.
so we might just have to wait for him to go back. This is the most difficult room to sort of deal with.
Sometimes I swear they keep it cold in here so we don't fall asleep.
Expecting people to be as smart as you are.
So again, he was stationed.
I cannot believe
Of course
the
that Cliff was
incompetence on
right.
display amongst this current stock of scribes. Spilling ink on such an
Okay, so now he was on his way back down.
I cannot believe
Of course
the
that Cliff was
incompetence.
right.
All should be silent. I cannot believe
Of course
the
that Cliff was
incompetence on
right.
display amongst this current stock of scribes. Spilling ink on such an ancient this shadow.
There he saw me.
I cannot believe
Of course
the
that Cliff was
incompetence
right.
on display amongst this current stock of scribes. Spilling ink on such an ancient text. Simply unforgivable.
So listen for him to go away again. We might not have enough time, but now I've saved. Yeah, we don't have enough time.
This is what you're like.
He stations himself on the western side of the tower.
Sometimes I swear
What
they
do they
keep it
think
cold
they're
in here so
accomplishing?
we don't fall asleep. What the? That book doesn't belong here.
Incompetence on display amongst this current stock of scribes. Spilling ink on such an ancient text.
I'm just going to wait for him to go back. We'll be able to open it now, hopefully, on the next round and get in there.
What was that title again? Compendium of City Streets. No doubt its contents are woefully outdated.
Yeah. So he...
I cannot believe the incompetence on display amongst this current stock of scribes.
we'll go up there now.
Spilling ink on such an ancient text.
Oh, no, that he hears for sure.
I cannot believe the incompetence on display amongst this current stock of scribes. Spilling ink on such an ancient text.
Let's go up here and we're safe. What we can do here is we can... Oops. Well... Take the chapter house key, take the candlestick, and we can read this. A. I share your concerns, although I do think you show too much interest at times. Balance must be maintained always. His importance is without question and close observation is recommended for now, but use judgment on when you decide to tip the scales one way or another. On another matter, I agree with your view that he is not involved, but the disappearance of Keeper Dagwin, or Dagwin, is very grave indeed, and a discussion of how to proceed will take place in the chapter house today. Elder Dalberic. Is this Artemis? Maybe. And is this maybe a discussion about Garrett? Maybe. Okay, well now we can't. Let's read this too. Keeper Nivert, thank you for reporting your grievance to me. I will ensure this matter is investigated with Keeper Ludegard, Ramiro, and Bryce. In the meantime, I have an assignment of the utmost importance which I can only entrust with you. We require more Baron's police uniforms for our sparring partners. Infiltrate the barracks in Darksmoke and obtain some in various sizes and good condition. As always, remain undetected. Report to Instructor Orcus when you return. Elder Dalberic. Take that and that. 1934. Have to return that.
Is that
So we can't do that now.
I wonder what the interpreter meant by this.
Since he's coming back.
spilling ink on such an ancient text? Simply unforgivable.
We can leave this door open right now and then close it when we return the chapter house key. No. No.
The unwritten times are coming.
Alright, let's make a real save there. I think that's a good place to do that. So first we're gonna just take a look at this room here. I'm not gonna pick the lock on this door, but
These ancient
That.
must concentrate.
The darkness here really
Yeah.
dulls one's
I'm
senses.
gonna go in here and hide. So here's a couple of things. First, we're gonna read this. The Alveus by Keeper Albrecht. One interpretation of the glyphs, and certainly a view put forward by Interpreter Verderosa, indicates that the revelation of the Brethren and Betrayer is conditional on the removal of something that restrains them and prevents their full manifestation. While interpreters and translators differ on this precise meaning, it has been identified as the Alveus. While many consider the Alveus to be a person, and more specifically a keeper, I think this to be far too simplistic an interpretation. The Alveus may very well be the institution itself. Okay. In here also is a secret. And this panel here can actually be revealed from both
No
sides.
doubt its contents are
But
woefully
you
outdated.
only get the count for the secret from this side, which I think is a little bit strange. I believe that's how it works, at least. So here's a ruby, but we can also take that from the other side, and if we do that, we prevent needing to pick the lock on this entry door. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Where is that book again? Can't find anything in here.
Okay, and there's
Where is that book again?
another keeper coming here.
Can't find anything in here.
Go in here. The guy you hear is from downstairs, I believe. So if we go here, flip that. See, we do not get the secret, but we can still reach the ruby. 2034. And we can take a strange note. Third Keeper Mayor and First Keeper Rickwin stand face to face for eternity. First Keeper Modrian vowed to watch the back of Interpreter Verderosa from threats. Translator Column and Interpreter Sadrildi never saw eye to eye, both in life and in death. So this is a hint on, or the clue to a puzzle on how to get into the restricted library. So that's why I wanted to reach this room first, to sort of make it logical that we know this information now. We're going to put this back. So, let's see. I'm going to read this as well. On the workings of the lunar pool at St. Genel's. So, this is the pool, isn't it, in Return to the Cathedral, where we bless the hammer to make it a holy hammer, I think. I believe that's what St. Genel's was. Several reports, both before and following the cataclysm, made observation of a lunar pool located at St. Genel's in the Hammerite Cathedral. The Hammerites of the Old Quarter, despite their flaws, were famed astronomers and made many significant contributions to the field, including the discovery of the Dark Salt constellation. The Hammerite order has historically provided much financial and social support to astronomy, the main motive of which is determining the date for the feast of the Saint Clavis. While this keeper does not comment on the properties or otherwise of holy water, the lunar pool, according to reports, did have the ability to change the properties of holy symbols, such as hammers, when immersed in the pool. The most tangible property the pool bestowed on such symbols was a change in color. While the Hammerites believed they had trapped celestial light containing the builder's grace and concentrated this in the pool, I believe some other force must be at play, perhaps heat or light leading to some change in the properties of the water. Nevertheless, repeated experimentation has not replicated the results. Further investigation required. Keeper Facitus. Is this maybe him testing and trying to create a lunar pool like that? Since it's an observatory, it seems logical. Alright, so now we're going to head all the way south.
Are coming.
So we're now going to move all the way south through the main hall and then cover part of the western side.
Step out. Where is that book again? Ah, can't find anything in here.
Let's see.
Warden was upset.
Let's see, we're supposed to be able to... What?
Ah, can't find anything in here.
I want to wait for him to go. Don't think that was an alert, but...
Of course that cliff was right. Can't find anything.
South from here. This room is a gold plate. Total 2054. And this is sort of a little window, and that's actually into the chapter house. So you can see in there. Nice when you can visualize areas that you can't get to currently.
The modern organic one. I mean, come on.
Here's a little well.
Keepers. What a drollery.
And this staircase takes you down. This room,
'Twas surely an
which is this area right here, so the staircase is there. We're not going to take this route, but wanted to show you what was going on.
Oh, yes, I'm sure that's a good idea.
So we're now right here.
thought it was a good idea to...
Read this. Sarek, it is important that we always consider alternative tools and multiple solutions to problems. Should we always rely on glyphs, then we become no different to the hammerite wielding the hammer, to whom everything looks like a nail. Investigation, surveillance, subterfuge, observation, manipulation, these are our tools before glyphs. Remember, above all, balance. Izarn.
Merge the Carathdin antiquity section with the modern paganic one. I mean, come on. The glyph warden was upset today.
Okay, over here. Small gem. One of the last ones I found.
Idea to merge the Carathdin antiquity section with the modern paganic one. I mean,
15.
come on.
Here. Go out here, and here's a courtyard with another journal. While I'm not convinced that they are indeed of Sarnath provenance, they are nonetheless deposited safely in the usual location in the small reading room. The infiltration was most sloppy, and it's a miracle we were not discovered. I would appreciate if Dalberic gave us more information on missions carrying this much risk, or I may be tempted to follow the lead of our former acolyte, who seems to be making excuse me, quite a living for himself. At least the risks he's taking are of his own free will. So, is this referring then to maybe the Gems of Sarnath, which is sort of an elusive quest that apparently Garrett carried out at some point, and that I don't know if there's any particular fan mission that actually portrays that sort of heist, but it is referenced to in one of the briefings, I think, or maybe it's the intro video to the Dark Project. It shows a poster that Garrett is wanted for this. I'm not sure if it's actually confirmed that he was the one who pulled it off. So that maybe is the ruby, the gem that we found in the astronomy room. Is that the reading room that they're referring to? I believe so. But here they're not confirming whether that was one of the Sarnath gems or not. So up here is a keeper. There is a goblet on the sill right by him. This is the first alert, so should be good there, and then we can head downstairs. $20.79. So now we descended in the far west.
These orcs so weird. Like they're made of human flesh.
Oh, I thought there was a... yeah, there is a small...
Who thought it was a good idea to merge the Carathdin antiquity
here, and then there's the secret. He's upstairs. Maybe these are the gems that was referred to. Yeah. So those 3 gems may be then the gems of Sarnath. Are they supposed to be that, or at least possibly so? Without the readable confirming it. Okay. Now we can head in here. This is the chapter house then. Now, up there is where we could see into the chapter house. So there is an opening, so remember, that means anybody can hear us.
Who thought it was a good idea to
Here's
merge
another
the
copy of the
Carathdin
chapter house key.
antiquity section with the modern paganic one? I mean, come on.
Initiate training records, 820. Mytelm, recruited by Orlin, no issues to report, skilled swordsman. Mercedes, recruited by Helmwin, promising but lacks balance. So Mercedes from the Calendra series. Nikander, recruited by Artemis, leadership skills, moves unseen, one to watch. Nikander, is that another keeper from a different fan mission? Could that be... I don't know, I might be on a limb here, but could that be one of the keepers from the Equilibrium fan mission? Which I haven't played in 20 years. But I remember some of the keepers were almost completely invisible in that. Or is it maybe a Thief 3 reference? I don't know. Chat can elaborate on that. Expunge the entry on Mercedes from the training records, Eldred Alberic.
Dust, cobwebs, darkness, incompetence. I wish I was a
Nothing here is readable. It's a nice room. It's a very, very cleanly made mission, this. Let's read this. Chapter meeting, 6th of Crimson Wane, 831. Presided over by Elder Dalberic. Item 1 is the disappearance of Keeper Dagwin. Elder Dalberic took the floor. We are all deeply shocked and saddened by Keeper Dagwin's disappearance. Surveillance activities in the Pontus district came with great dangers, and we suspect he may have fallen afoul of a De Tremolay network. I asked the chapter for their views on a search party to be dispatched forthwith. All keepers in attendance voted unanimously in favor of a search party to be organized. Keepers Ramiro and Bryce volunteered. Item 2, Pagan Conspiracy. Keeper Raywin took the floor. It is recommended that surveillance activities of wardens be increased. We believe a pagan infiltration of one or more wardens is the most likely strategy to gain a foothold in the city and obtain the items of importance for their schemes. Webster, DeWall, Zamlarg, and Ramirez should be prioritized. I think of these four, Zamlarg is the only one that isn't in the original canon. She, which is a female warden, was introduced in Disorientation, I think, by Melan. Sort of become an unofficial part of canon, maybe. The fan canon. The fanon, maybe? Now, just so you know, that checked off the objective here. The information we're trying to find. I still don't get always the objective chime. And we also reached the 1400 loot in Thief 1 missions. I don't know why I don't. I know there were a few of you that reached out. It was the last year about it. Is there something up here? Nope. Love the pulsating lights above the statues here. It's really
I
cool.
thought it was a good idea to merge the Carathdin Antiquity section with the modern Paganic one. I mean...
Okay, let's head in here. It's a readable... A seemingly mundane update during this morning's chapter meeting has deeply troubled me. Instructor Mabon provided the elders with an update on recent initiatives he implemented to provide the efficiency and output of the scribes. He provided softer cushioning for the seats, more candles, and increased the capacity of the inkwells. On the first day of introducing these changes, Instructor Mabon observed the scribes and noted a significant improvement in output. However, on the second day, Instructor Mabon left the scribes unsupervised, and when he returned at the end of the day, the output had dropped to the levels observed before any changes were introduced. While Instructor Mabon seemed puzzled by this, it is clear to me that it was the mere act of observation which improvised the efficiency of the scribes. While this may seem trivial, it gives rise to the idea that observation can alter the behavior or affect the outcome of that being observed. How much of our work is affected by our presence, and what dangers does this pose to the prophecies? I intend to experiment further on this tonight, starting with the observation of glyphs. I may even disturb Keeper Facilis from his telescope upstairs. He may be able to shed some light. Let's see. Here there's also a plate, 3 apples.
Ancient text. Simply unforgivable.
Oh, he probably saw me there. I just want to do this quickly because the other guy is coming back.
Someone's skulking around here.
How did he see that?
Someone's skulking around.
He turns a little bit to the right.
Expecting people to be as smart as you are.
When he walks, that's the
What
problem.
kind of an idiot.
There.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. No doubt its contents are woefully outdated.
I wish I was a Dark
We're gonna
Watch.
go here now. So we're now in the main hall.
Who thought it was a good idea to merge the Carathdin Antiquities section with the modern Paganic one? I mean, come on.
Council Tower. There. So this is then just below, obviously, the Council Tower.
Fall asleep.
Above? Ooh. Where are you going, buddy? I don't really know where he's going, but I don't think he's going
Where is
here.
that book again? Ah, can't find anything in here. Who's this?
Yeah,
Where is that book
didn't
again?
really know where he was going.
Can't find anything in here.
Spilling ink on such an ancient text. Simply unforgivable.
Okay, I'm not going to go in here.
That sound.
But here, you come underneath the bridge up above, in the western section of the second floor, and you can rope arrow up here, since it's moss.
I wonder what the interpreter meant by this.
Just want to make sure I'm out of the way of that guy.
Sometimes I swear they keep it cold in here so we don't fall asleep. Who are you? Where is that book
You guys got to
again?
decide on what side of the hallway you're going to go on.
Can't find anything in here.
Alright, so you're... Are you going to go further, or are you going to come back? I don't know that.
What do they think they're accomplishing?
Go in here. I know there's a... book somewhere. Here. On the mystery of the vanishing of the youths of Shalebridge. Source unknown, but retold here by Keeper Adelard, based on investigation of anecdotal accounts of the older residents of Shalebridge. I'm sure that this is a Thief 3 mission, isn't it? Maybe it's the cradle. I don't know. Here follows an astonishing affair rising in Shalebridge in the year 421 of the reign of Baron Black on the feast of Saint Tancred. A woman undeterminable in age, pulchritudinous and adorned in finery, so that any accursed enough to lay eyes upon her venerated her because of her facade. Crossed street, bridge, water and field to enter through Shalebridge Gate to but catch a glimpse. Is this woman Gamal? Don't know. The lady then began to sing all through the district with a voice so alluring that all who heard began to follow. Stranger still, the spectral singing appeared to only affect the youths of Shalebridge, boy and girl alike, who trailed the lady like shadows at noon. Youths to the number of 37 vanished in this flight of folly, with no trace ever to be found. Wailing from Shalebridge was heard never to cease for 12 years and a day, until all hope of a return of the 37 was abandoned. Is this what we have come to, relying on old wives' tales from Shalebridge to fill a few pages? Please find at least one written source for this, or it will need to be destroyed. Elder Delberic. Okay. Let's read this as well. Fenodi's History of the City, Volume 1. Although no surviving historical records deal directly with the founding or building of the city, tradition and folklore have led several historians to agree that the original population of the city consisted of refugees from neighboring regions and the undefended countryside, fleeing some as yet unknown catastrophe. Indeed, rumors abound of an ancient civilization, the remains of which may have formed the foundation of our current great city. Dear reader will be glad to learn that I intend to investigate this topic in considerable detail in Volume 2. More on this anon. In time, the 7 great founding families elected the first Baron and established the great institutions to govern the city. While there remain some disputations on who comprised the 7 families, it is generally accepted by reputable historians to comprise the houses of Black, Bresling, De Perrin, Grandmodden, Marad, Rutherford, and Quintus. I recommend that Fenodi's work on the city's history be closely monitored. Should he stray too near the truth, exercise appropriate response. Elder Delberic. So, I don't know if Black or Bresling is in the original canon. I'm sure they are. I'm sure that Snake would have implemented words that are, or names that are recognized. Bresling sounds familiar, with Black I'm not sure.
What was that title again? Compendium of City Streets. No doubt its contents are woefully outdated.
Good. So this way. So now we come back to... Now we just went down this hallway. So we did that. Let me see. 2299. Yes. So I'm coming out here because I'm going to return the compound entrance key. I need to lockpick this door too. So again, I don't think we can drop it like that, so it almost goes down. Can we do that with this one too? Yeah, we can. Okay, well that's as close as we can get it to the bottom. We still have to return the chapter house key, of course, and close the door in the Elder's office. And we have to hit the restricted library. That's sort of the main, one of the main things we got to do now. There. So now we just locked ourselves in on this side. Let's see. Yeah, so now we're going to go this way.
Elder?
Maybe shouldn't have made a real save when I wasn't safe. Let's make it over this. Okay. Go in here. The rise and fall of the great banking families of the city by Keeper Eleazar. The history of three of the largest banking families to exist in the city is one of complexity, corruption, and catastrophe. The houses of Romegas, De Tremolay, and Ruzzini grew to become the dominant financiers of the city over the course of 300 years, largely benefiting from increased maritime trade with Bonn and Zurich. The banking families facilitated trade by providing bills of exchange for merchants. Finance was not the only source of the family's power. Family connections through marriages of convenience also secured powerful relationships and access to upper society. Indeed, the families became so wealthy and powerful that the barons considered them a threat, with some of their castles and palaces confiscated under the pretense that fortified castles on the city's boundaries were a danger in private hands. The decline of the families took place over a prolonged period of time, with many factors playing a role. Firstly, the families overextended lending to Baron Black's wars, which he failed to repay. However, this was not the sole reason for their collapse, as continued wars had disrupted the network of trade both within and without the city. To confound the family's misfortunes, successive generations of barons sought ways to limit their power and eventually established the Barons' Bank to serve as a municipal bank, which managed the public debt of the city and financed the ongoing wars, diminishing the stranglehold the private banking houses had on the city. There's of course the matter of the De Tremolay conspiracy, but that will require its own tome for further extrapolation. However, despite the change in fortunes for the banking families, they continue to figure among the prominent families of the city and regularly hold positions of power, including infiltration and institutions such as the Witan, the Barons' Police, and even amongst the Hammerite Order.
No doubt its contents are woefully outdated.
Alright. And here comes the most hidden piece of loot in the mission. Right here. I don't believe how long it took for me to find this. Purse.
Can't find anything in here.
Worth 45, 23, 44. Right, yeah. And then we are going to get up here.
I wonder what the interpreter meant by this.
This is what your life has come to. You should be ashamed.
There, the guy's not seeing me from across there.
Can't find anything in here. No, they don't understand. The unwritten times are coming.
Here. Okay, and then we are going to return the chapter house key here.
Ah, I'm a lackwit. Of course that glyph was right.
So we can't return it when he's stationed there. We don't want to nudge him or bump into him. But we need to return it
I wonder what the interpreter
right on
meant
top
by
of the
this.
letter. There is a small space. Yeah, okay, we can't do that. Let me make a real save here.
I'm a lackwit. Of course that glyph was right.
No.
Ah, I'm a lackwit. Of course that glyph was right. That book doesn't belong here.
There.
Where is that?
It's
book
very
again?
difficult to find that spot. I was lucky
can't
that I did
find
it on the
anything
first there,
here.
but there's a tiny spot on every letter.
Sometimes I swear.
Tiny spot on every letter that is silent for dropping of keys. Books, you can drop it on the entire book. And it's allowed for Supreme if you take a key from a desk to return it anywhere on that desk. You can't put it on the floor, that wouldn't be close enough. Or at least that's my interpretation of it. And it's something I've run by Sneak, the creator of Supreme, and that was his way of dealing with that rule too. There.
I wish I was a
Okay.
Dark Watch.
Of course that.
So where are we now? So yeah, we're now headed into the main hall, and we're gonna head east to the scriptorium. Yes.
Where is that book? Can't find anything.
I wish I was a Dark Watch.
Let's see, am I safe here? Don't know.
Hey!
No. Did we?
Competence on display amongst this current stubborn scribes. Spilling becomes such an ancient text. Simply unforgivable.
Okay.
Sometimes I swear they keep it cold in here so
Head
we
in
don't fall
here.
asleep.
So there is a fairly dangerous keeper that has 3 positions, and he covers the room that has quite a few pieces of loot, actually. I think it's 3.
They don't understand. No, they don't understand. The unwritten times are coming. Ah, I'm a lackwit. Of course that glyph was right.
Okay, there's pieces of loot back here and there. I'm gonna have to wait here, I guess.
Who is that?
Yeah, that's also
I'm a
annoying, is
lackwit.
that he
Of course that glyph was right.
turns a little bit right as he stations himself somewhere. Maybe I should make a real save here.
I'm a lackwit. Of
Just
course
so I
that glyph was
don't.
right.
This is what your life has come to. You should be ashamed. What do they think they're accomplishing?
Valuable book. 7 Great Families, the Grand Moderns, the Knights of St. Clavis, The Rise of the Merchant Class, Volume 4, The Hand Brotherhood, Friend or Foe. Note Yet's manuscript, copy. Collected Writings of the Cataclysm, Keeper Lucas. And
I
then
wonder
there
what
is
the
a
interpreter meant by this.
also a statue there. And then we can also take
Too dark. This place is too dark and cold.
Ah, I'm a
pair of
lackwit.
glasses
Of
up
course that
there.
glyph was right.
Don't know if he sees me here. I'm not going to save, but we can read this. Restricted library access. Instructor Maven. This is now the 5th time you have forgotten the bust position combination to access the restricted library, and I cannot always be available to remind you. In the future, you have permission to seek the instructions located in astronomy, although Keeper Facitus likely has them hidden for safekeeping. Elder Dalberic, so that's a good hint to where to find that info. Okay. Does not
These ancient halls are getting to me.
Oh, he
I
did.
must concentrate.
He did. He did indeed see me.
What kind of an idiot? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Who's this? The
I think maybe I have to wait again until...
What kind of an idiot? Doesn't matter.
Let's try to go this way. There.
I'm a lackward. Of course that glyph was right.
Alright, so that's the glasses there, 2544. So this is the restricted library access. This door takes us out to the interior cloister, which I will show you a little bit later.
What the? That book doesn't belong here.
So let's see, Verderosa. Modrian looked at the back of Verderosa, it said.
Sometimes I swear they keep it cold in here.
Rickwin and Meyer are seeing each other.
Where is that book again? Ah, can't find anything in here.
There, he might have seen me there. I don't know if they see through these drapes or not.
What kind of an idiot? Doesn't matter.
Drildy and Column. They look away. There. I don't like that. We're going to have to reset that bust puzzle. I'm going to come back out this way, though there is another way out of the library. Let's read this. Restricted Library, Catalog of Rare Books. 712.80 on the Revolution of the Celestial Objects, Brother Renault. Good condition despite being discovered during the installation of the Elemental Wards. Only copy known to exist. 712.81. First folio of playwright Sigvald. Whilst it is a rare manuscript, the Council should consider the appropriateness of holding such an item in these halls, especially in light of recent forgery accusations against Sigvald. 712.82, Golden Book of Noble Families, Volume 2. Not an original, but valuable nonetheless, considering the damning accounts contained therein on many of the great families, particularly on the de Tremolay conspiracy. Currently on display in the stone table on the ground floor of the restricted library. Its gold cover shimmering under the large window, so that's the one that we need to get. Codex of Pazar, likely a fake, but further study warranted. There is a guy that wanders around here. Let's see. There. So here, have a place that is a little bit strange. Here, so this is the Interpreter's Tower, and this is directly, at least to me, it looks very, very much like Mission 3 of Calendar's Legacy, A Winter's Eve. That, of course, is a keeper mission as well. I forgot to mention that earlier. Welcome home. I love the sounds in here. Peephole. Okay. This guy stops and looks at that bookcase. Here's a secret.
What do they think did this shadow just...
Did just...
I can't believe the incompetence on display amongst this current stock of scribes.
Here we have a ring, and we have the Supreme Art of Undetection by Klatremus. I wonder who that's referencing. Nice little nudge there by Snake, I appreciate that. Okay, so this area here can be a little bit tricky from now on, because there's a big distance and keepers can see you and they patrol and they stop at the end of the patrol, which I don't like, kind of, that you can't hear that.
I can...
Yeah, I didn't hear any alerts there.
Yeah. This is no place...
Alright, so we have to wait here then until he comes back. We have to get a statue on top of that.
Keepers keeping things from keepers. What a drama.
We have to go slow up these ladders, I believe. Where we stay yellow and we can avoid getting spotted at least. Go here actually pretty quickly.
The glyph warden was upset today.
don't think there's anything else on this side of the upper walkways.
I thought I heard something.
No, there isn't. You can walk across the chain here to the other side, but that is like
Who thought it was a
very, very bad idea.
to merge the
Did this shadow
Who thought it was a good idea to merge
the current stock of scribes? Spilling ink on such an ancient. Did this shadow just move?
What?
Who thought it was a good idea
Yeah, you hear the alerts here. We have to just go slow.
Spilling ink on such an ancient text. Simply unforgivable. Little fed up with the way the superior elder looks down on us.
Can't find anything in here. I'm a backward. Of course that glyph was right.
Head up here and take a look. Let's see. Yeah, you can see the keeper on the other side there.
They don't understand. No, they don't understand. The unwritten times are coming.
On the Carathin Kudram prophecy, collected notes by keeper Erlindi. For many years, we keepers theorized whether an ancient form of us existed as at Carathin, based on the discovery of the Kudram scrolls beneath the temple palace. These scrolls appear to predict the fall of Carathin in the reign of Vaturan, at least 100 years before the event. It is now, however, clear that this scroll was written after the event occurred. This raises two questions. How many survived the fall of Carathin? And to what ends was a prophecy contrived after the event occurred? Perhaps such forgeries are not limited to ancients.
Sometimes I swear they keep recording here so we don't fall asleep. Can't find anything in here.
Oh, who saw that? That was me just like speeding up ever so slightly when I dropped.
What the? That book doesn't belong here.
Yeah. I think this is the last ladder we have to go up to that has loot.
I wonder what the interpreter meant by this. What the? That book doesn't belong here.
There.
I'm a black ancient text.
Simply unforgivable.
I don't think there's anything else of value here, but there is another book. What caused us greater concern was the news that greeted us upon entering the village. Those there, whom we had not met within a year, had died the previous Vindemia in the most curious nature. Those wretches, based on the account provided to us, were seized with an affliction unfamiliar to us, but not very unfamiliar among the people we were seeking. They are afflicted with neither madness, insanity, nor fury, but have a combination of all of these classes of sickness, which affects their thoughts and causes them to move in a most unnatural manner. Death was determined as the solitary remedy, and they were slain by the locals in order to stay the course of their madness. So now we're done on this upper level. We have to go down.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I'm a lackward. Of course that glyph was right.
So there you can go to get back to the main entrance. There are 2 patrollers on the bottom level. Both stop at the end of their patrol, which means that they do not give alerts at that time. There's one more ladder we have to go up. This Chronicle of Interpreters, Verderosa. Verderosa became interpreter in 622 and contributed greatly to her office. Verderosa introduced the concepts of biforis, always allowing for 2 interpretations to be discussed with the wider council before deciding on a path. This democratization of glyph interpretation is considered revolutionary by many and dangerous by some. The valuable interpretations of corruption in the Witan, the De Tremolay conspiracy, and the Great Fire of 615 are attributed to Verderosa. Verderosa trained 2 translators during her tenure. Verderosa died in 641, and the council voted unanimously for her remains to be buried in the crypt beneath her tower with her prize keeper medallion. That's very nice to know.
They don't understand. No, they don't understand. The unwritten times are coming.
The great families, the De Tremolay. Search all he likes, but even the Baron will lose his shadow. The darkness, whether a soul he possess, only the builder can guess. Scipio the Tremolay, 634. The House of De Tremolay consolidated power in the city in the 500s, reaching a peak under Scipio the Tremolay Scipio the Tremolay maybe, by the 600s. The family originated in the canal-filled Pontus district, giving it ease of access to trade with Bonn and Zurich. This facilitated the creation of the most successful banking operation in the city. The House of De Tremolay kept close ties with the Hammerite order, establishing the Tremolay Chapel in the Hammerite Cathedral of Pontus. Indeed, when Scipio the Tremolay became head of the family in the 600s, he set about fostering a close personal relationship with Cardinal Rodegair. When Cardinal Rodegair's nephew Lothgar attempted to acquire further land to expand the canal network around Pontus, the Baron interceded on the grounds of strategic importance and tried to purchase it for himself. The land was eventually sold to Lothgar in exchange for a position in the hierarchy of the Hammerite order. The purchase was originally to be financed by the Razzini Bank, but given their close relationship with the barons before the establishment of the Barons' Bank, they refused to finance the purchase. This in turn created a rift between the Hammerites and the Razzinis. The House that De Tremolay ultimately benefited, financing the deal and forging an even closer relationship with Cardinal Rodegair, but creating enemies of both the Razzinis and the Baron. While it's not clear who instigated the plot, a conspiracy was put in motion to assassinate Prospero, the head of the Razzini family, and the Baron. The ultimate goal of this plot was for Scipio de Tremolay to replace the Baron and create a new dynasty, with the tacit support of Cardinal Rodegair. The attack took place on the morning of the Feast of St. Eustace, during a meeting between Prospero and the Baron at the Razzini Palace. Prospero was killed, but a large contingent of the Baron's personal bodyguards swarmed the attackers, and the Baron escaped. The conspirators were quickly rounded up and hanged from the windows of the baronial palace, including Scipio. Curiously, the De Tremolay family were not banished from Pontus and continued to wield significant power in the district to this day. This favorable treatment is likely due to the intercession of Cardinal Rodegair, who emerged from the conspiracy unscathed. More curious still, very little record of this event survives and is largely forgotten by the populace today.
Sometimes I swear
So that is the Golden Book.
I wonder what the interpreter meant by this.
Okay, so there's one more piece of loot on top of this big ladder. And it is quite exposed. Making a real save here.
No doubt its contents are woefully outdated.
At least we're dark here. There we go. Good. So that was a book, 2844.
I cannot believe the incompetence on display amongst this current stock of scribes.
Oh no, we're gonna get seen by him.
I cannot believe the incompetence on display amongst this
I know it's probably not a bust actually to
spilling ink on such
sort
an
of
ancient
get a
text.
first alert and them also saying their
Unforgivable.
settling remark completely silently at the end of their patrol. It's the same as when they are involved in a conversation, they don't give first alerts, and that's allowed for Supreme to use that. So I'm sure that you can do that. I'm gonna go through here. If there's a situation where that would be the only way to successfully Supreme, then I would probably use it, but I don't think that's I've ever come across that situation. So we're now in the bottom of the Interpreter's Tower. So we're now headed down to the crypts. Here we can be pretty careless, because I don't think there's anybody here. Third Keeper Mayor, our burden is not for the dependent of spirit. So that's, you could see out in the courtyard. I think I showed you that. Interpreter Verderosa, to interpret is to see one's dream and weave its meaning from afar. Stay in the shadows. Okay. So it triggers a trap if we don't do that. That would be a Supreme bust. Medallion. That's the Keeper Medallion. All the objectives. This is a puzzling room because it's completely empty. I don't think there's a way to... I don't think you can see this from above, in which case you would be able to just drop down. Okay, avoid the lights. Alright. So we'll do that. It's trap filled. This way. We actually come out. In the chapter house. I don't think there is a button from the other side for this. So it's a one-way path. We're not going to go that way. We're going to head back, actually. Just because we want to reset the puzzle, the bust statue puzzle. And now we've returned the chapter house key anyway.
Someone's skulking.
Yeah, someone is skulking about.
Competence on display amongst this current stock of
It's
scribes.
Klatremus.
Spilling ink on such an ancient text. Simply unforgivable.
Let's see how far. No, I can't go in far at all. Probably just have to make a little run for it here when the coast is clear.
I wonder what the interpreter meant by this.
Beautiful room. Gotta say that the design in this mission is fantastic.
Whose incredible idea was it to build a bookcase so tall?
There we go. Whoa. Well, he didn't see me because I'm dark, completely dark.
Is that you?
They don't understand. No, they don't understand. The unwritten times are coming.
Whose incredible idea was it to build a bookcase so tall?
Actually, let's go through here, why don't we? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Doesn't hear that. All right, almost done. Nice. This mission did get tons of votes, and it was in. It was suggested in both of the last two
Where is
ambiance
that
competitions.
Ah, can't find it.
Didn't come that high the first time, but I think more people have played it since then.
Sometimes I swear they keep it cold in here so we don't fall asleep.
There. Now all those have been reset. Let me just see. Golden Book, Plasma Medallion.
The Glyph Warden was upset today.
Wait. Did I not take something? I think I missed something here.
I cannot believe the incompetence on display amongst this current stock of scribes. Spilling ink on
I
such
do
an
think I
ancient
forgot
text.
something.
Simply unforgivable.
What the? That book doesn't belong
Yeah,
here.
there was a piece of loot down in the crypts that I gotta take. I forgot that. Okay, well at least we didn't almost.
This is what your life has come to. You should be ashamed.
The Glyph Warden was upset today.
What do they think they're approaching?
So yeah, that sucks, but that wasn't too big of a replay there. We gotta take the medallion and we gotta take the piece of loot down there that I forgot. Let's see. There. I think it's in this room, actually. Yes, it is. There, that's the one I forgot. It's worth 30. 28.74. That's the amount we should have. Small hiccup there, but not too big of a setback. We have 2 more pieces of loot. And of course we won't get a perfect Supreme here. And hopefully I didn't get any kind of busts. Did you think I was going to forget to close that? That would be typical, wouldn't it? And then I would get one of my trusted viewers who say, "You didn't Supreme the mission because you forgot to close the door."
That book again. Can't find anything in here.
No.
That's the problem. I keep expecting people to
No. I shouldn't say that. I appreciate everyone who, if you point out a bust that I took that I didn't know about, I want to know about it. Because, you know, I want to correctly state whether I Supreme the mission or not, or I want to be able to go back and fix it if I can.
I wonder what the interpreter meant by this.
Yeah, I think we got that. Good.
That book doesn't belong here.
Someone's skulking around.
Oh my gosh.
expecting people to be as smart as you are.
Okay, well I'm not fully on the gate here. Oh, almost messed up again.
Idiot.
That's right, idiots. That's me.
Doesn't matter.
Well, it matters. It matters. There we go. Now, we should be on our way.
What the? That book doesn't belong here.
There we go. Okay. So these are the stairs down. And here's a room. Love the sounds in here.
The
Listen to that.
Glyph Warden was upset today.
Doubt on us. What a title.
So we now need to go out here and not do that. We are going to stand on the edge. Oh.
That's the problem. I keep expecting people to be as... That's the problem. I keep expecting people to be as...
do that. Very risky, but hey, let's do it. Now he comes out over there. You see him?
What the?
Oh, man.
That's the problem. I'm expecting people to be.
Oh! Can't do that, but we can get it. Maybe we just wait.
Expecting people to be as smart as you are, and they let you down. What kind of an idiot? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
He's over there. Far, far over there.
What was that title again?
No, we're probably going to make a real save here, but we have not gotten spotted.
Compendium of City Streets. No doubt it's
What the?
This is what your life has come to. You should be ashamed.
He's still there.
This is what your life has come to. You should be ashamed. What do they think they're accomplishing?
Okay.
The glyph
Let's hope that I am safe here. That was worth 125. 29.99.
Fed up with the way the superior
Could we actually have... Oh, yeah.
elder looks down on. Competence on display amongst this current
I don't know why I couldn't lean there, but I couldn't.
competence on display amongst this current spilling ancient text.
There.
They don't understand.
Is that what?
Is that what?
Competence on display amongst this current stock of scribes. Spilling ancient text. Simply unforgivable.
No. Wait.
Cannot look to this shadow.
Wait. I'm going the wrong way here.
Cannot believe the incompetence on display amongst this current stock of scribes. Spilling ink on such ancient text. Too dark. This place is
My-
too dark. Who's that?
No, I think I have to...
Cannot believe. Is that you?
Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Come on.
Believe the incompetence on display amongst this current stock of scribes. Spilling ink on such an ancient text.
There.
Too dark. Simply unforgivable. Too dark and cold.
I wonder what the interpreter meant by this.
Yes?
Oh, no, there's too many people here.
Cannot
Too many people.
believe the incompetence on display amongst this current stock of scribes. Spilling ink on such an ancient text. Fed up with the way the superior elder looked down on us. What the title?
I wish I was a dark watch. I wish I was a dark watch.
Fed up with the way the superior elder.
All right.
What was that title again?
So there is one piece of loot in the front courtyard.
No doubt its contents are woefully outdated.
That we're going to take.
What do they think they're accomplishing?
Is that upstairs?
Who's that?
Ay, ay, ay.
Incompetence on display amongst this current stock of scribes. Spilling ink on such a... Is that you? Elder?
So he turns away.
Incompetence on display amongst
We can
this
go
current
when he turns
stock
away.
of scribes. Spilling ink on such an ancient text. Simply unforgivable.
There we go. Out here there is a green base. 3049. And we should be able to end the mission. Here's the balcony. And there is a guard there. Let's wait for him.
The incompetence on display amongst this current stock of scribes. Spilling ink on such an ancient text.
Where is that book again? Ah, can't find anything.
This looks like the way out. That'll come in useful later.
Okay, so I think we're ready to leave, Garrett. So let's just do that. Perfect. So, from what I could tell, that was a successful Supreme run of a Thief's Training. We didn't take all the loot, but I think we returned everything and we closed up everything and didn't get any first alerts from what I could hear. Let me know, of course, if you noticed anything. 1 hour, 8 minutes, 49 seconds. We took 3049 out of 3174. We skipped was it a tiara worth 125 in one of the crypts below Chapelshade, because we remove light sources when we take the piece of loot. That's ultimately what bust Supreme there. We picked 2 out of 2 pockets. We picked 4 locks. No backstabs, no knockouts. Damage dealt taken, healing taken, nothing, and nobody killed. All that 0. And we found 7 out of 9 secrets. One of those secrets necessitated a picking up a lock, and then I can't remember what the other one was that we didn't take. So yeah, I really like this mission. Like I said, it's not in my top missions of all time, but it's a very solid 7.5 or 8 out of 10. You know, I enjoy it a lot. And very nice first mission by Snake, of course. Whenever a new author comes out with this solid of a creation, you always look for future releases as well. Okay, thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for supporting my channel. Next time we're headed back to the Dark Mod for Mission 3 of Penny Dreadful, and which is an excellent one, by the way. I've played probably about half of it, so looking forward to showing you that. And yeah, nothing else to say really. Hope you guys have a good evening. Bye-bye.